Happy Monday, everybody. I hope you all had a restful weekend. Thank you for joining us again this Monday. You know that we're live each and every Monday at 5 p.m. Make sure that you're always on serenitynailpolish.com, signing up and subscribing for our newsletters, as there will be some exciting updates. We just got a really exciting update, which will be happening from August 8th to the 17th. If you follow New York City It Girl, this program is for young artists. We know that Serenity loves to paint. Her painting fostered from her love for nail polish and experimenting on her dolls and her toys. So she's going to be one of the youngest artists to walk Jamaica Avenue and paint over the streets. So the It Walk is significant for several key reasons, especially for Queens and the broader New York City community. Number one, it elevates Jamaica Queens as a cultural destination. Historically, Jamaica has been underrepresented in the New York City art scene compared to places like Manhattan or Brooklyn. And this event shines a spotlight on local creativity and shows the richness of the culture in Southeast Queens. Also, it's creating a free and public access to art by being a self guided outdoor event. The It Walk is going to remove the traditional barriers to art galleries and museums. There's going to be no admission fees, no formalities, just art on the streets where people already live, shop, and gather. It's helping to amplify local artists' voices and giving them a platform to emerge as established artists. It's also going to help strengthen community ties. And when we think about economic and social impact, events like this can boost foot traffic to local businesses like ourselves and even create opportunities for partnership. So more details to come on that. You definitely want to make sure that you're signed up to see where this event will be taking place. We already know it'll be in New York City, but where specifically the dates, the time of day, those key details will be coming out for our mailing list. Okay, so y'all already know that I have a special guest with us today. But before I get into the special guest that we have for today, I want to welcome. I see Ray Robinson is on live. So is Paris, Rue, Vanessa. Welcome on in Southeast Queens. Welcome to our live. So first, let's start off with our business tip. The business tip for today is finding ways to build your email list. So some quick ways that you can build your email list is you can collect emails at every event or pop-up shop that you do. That is something that I had to learn along the way of doing so many pop-up events. Also, adding a sign-up link to your social media bios at the checkout process is another great way. And just sending consistent, valuable content to stay on top of mind is key, key, key. Okay. So, without further ado, ladies and gents, because I see we have gents on the line too, get ready to be inspired. Our speaker today is a powerhouse who presents and lights up every room that she enters. I also had the pleasure of meeting and taking part in Casandra Burnett's event, Hey Girl Conference. She is more than a speaker, she's a truth teller and a builder of brave spaces for women to rise. Her background is rooted in social justice, education, and community wellness. And Cassandra has spent years helping women reclaim their power and walk unapologetically in their purpose. She is the founder of Hey Girl Conference and so much more. So get your journals ready, open your hearts and your minds, and get ready to be inspired. Help me welcome Cassandra. Cassandra,
Sure.
welcome into the room. And I just want to start by saying thank you so much for joining us live this Monday. We know that you have some great gems to share with us today, and we're going to just get started. And you can tell the people a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Well, good evening. Thank you so much for having me. And thank you for that warm, warm welcome. I feel uh, ushered in today. So thank you so much for that, Jasmine. And so,
Mhm.
hello, everybody. My name is Cassandra Burnett. I have a few titles, but really, I'm a woman who is leaning into who she is and who wants more of that, who wants to know herself more fully. And as I know myself more fully, I want that for other women. I'm really convicted about that. I have a passion, a burning for that for other women. So the titles. Uh, by trade, if you will, my 9 to 5, I am a practicing attorney. I've been an attorney for 20 years. I currently
Mhm.
supervise a staff of attorneys in New Jersey. I am also a wife of 18 years. I'm a mother of two beautiful girls, 16 and 11. I have two businesses. So, Lizzie's Love Cakes is a bunt pound cake company, and the Hey Girl Conference is all about women's empowerment and so much more. We tap into young girls, we elevate voices of women, we create spaces where women can freely be themselves. You use the word unapologetically. Unapologetically walk up in a room and just be themselves. Don't have to put a mask on, don't have to play it small, can just show up as their big, beautiful selves. So that's just, I don't know, a snippet of the things that I do. There's other titles and other things, but that's just a snippet. Oh, Jasmine, I cannot hear you.
Sorry. So that was a great snippet. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I believe I need to try out these cakes of yours. I'm not sure that I have, so I might have to, give you the task of at this conference, or at the connection night on July 20th,
Yeah,
to bring a piece of cake so that I could
yeah.
dive right in.
I know you
'Cause
enjoy it.
yes, I'm excited. I'm excited. And Cassandra, you've created a safe space through Hey Girl Conference that empowers and uplifts. What personal experiences shaped your mission, and how do you stay centered while pouring so much into others?
Yeah, so the first part, so what personal experiences have shaped my mission? Really, the waves of life. I describe them as waves because they do. They come sometimes up to your feet, sometimes they crash into you, and sometimes they swallow you. So I've had different waves that have come into my life, whether it was the wave of being the first one to go all the way through education, all the way through from my family to college to I got my law degree. And then another wave that came through was when my parents passed away. First, my mother
Mhm,
passed away in 2012, and then my father
mhm,
passed away in 2014.
mhm,
Another wave was, medical challenges that I personally had to encounter, without having that safety net of my mom there because she knew it all. She always had a wise word to say. So it was all of these waves of life that either I embraced, I resisted, or that tried to swallow me that really helped me to shape this vision. And so I knew that I was changing. I just didn't know how much I changed. I knew that
mhm,
I needed space to kind of discuss these changes and grow and heal. I just didn't see it. And actually, it was at the urging of my husband. I have a group of sister angel friends, and we would get together, cackle and kiki and challenge each other and support each other. And he got a chance to see us in action in the pandemic because we were all locked in the house. So we did it virtually. And he said, Cassandra, you need to do this for other women. So at that urging, understanding that I needed it, Sister Angel friends needed it. So therefore, I knew a Jasmine out there needed it. So that helped shape the mission. And how do I stay centered with all the things that are going on? My faith, God is my guy. Okay, so without him, without that rock, without that source to continually go to, because it's a never ending power source, he doesn't get drained. So when I'm drained, when I'm crawling, when I am on life support, whether it is just with my energy, with my ideas, stretching myself too thin, I can always tap into the ultimate power source and I'll be all right.
That is amazing. I First of all, thank you so much for sharing that because you spoke to the spark that led to the launch of the Hey Girl Conference. And you saw the need, right? And it became more than just an event. It became a movement. Um, and so along the way, right? Because you have built such a transformational brand. What were some of the biggest lessons that you learned in building a brand rooted in sisterhood, like you mentioned, healing and spiritual growth, especially while navigating the ups and downs of entrepreneurship?
I would say I learned a few things. As I was creating this space for other women, again, I used myself as a model as to what I needed. And I used those skill sets that I picked up along the way. So, Fawn Weaver, who is the CEO of Uncle Nearest, she has a beautiful quote that helps me. It says that we're not meant to be reservoirs, we're meant to be rivers. It should flow through and then carry on. So, as I was sitting in this space and as I was starting to feel fulfilled with my circle of friends, I didn't need to gatekeep. I didn't need to hold it to myself. I needed it to flow through me and to share with other women. And that, honestly, putting that out there with that intention, you start to attract other women. You start to attract other organizations, other businesses that have a similar, if you will, guiding light, that they're not trying to, keep it all to themselves, that they want to build that word we call community, and they want to be in community with you. And it's not just a trendy headline, it is an actual verb and action. I know community is not a verb, but to be in community requires action. And so you start to attract other entities like that. And also, I would say I limited those transactional relationships and really started to build relationships with people. So some things are transactional. When you have to get, I don't know, you got to rent chairs for an event. All right, this is a transactional relationship we have here. But then there are others where I really want to see if our missions and our thought process align. I want to have lunch with you. I want to look you in your eyes. I want to build a connection with you, build that trust with you. And as you start to do that, people are like, oh, Cassandra and the Hey Girl conference, they're the real deal. I know someone that I need to speak to them about, or I need to send someone their way. So when I limit those transactional interactions and start building relationships with people, then we have Jasmine, who's at a Hey Girl conference with Serenity Nail Polish, and then she shows up with her daughter at the Hey Girlie Rise Up Summit. And now I'm sitting here on your platform. That's relationship building, you know? So I would say those two things, not holding on to it. Don't gatekeep. I know you worked hard for it, but be in community with people and build relationships with people.
I love that. I love that. And people are commenting right now on the live. Nikki said, "Hey girl, she's revealing my whole life right now. God is who truly brought me this far." We have Master in Our Business saying community is everything. Paris is commenting. Vanessa has commented as well. And the people are loving what you're sharing just about community and uplifting each other and relationship building, because relationship building, like you mentioned, is key. It
Yes.
really is key. Um, and Hey Girl Conference, I need to give you more time to speak about the Hey Girl Conference, right? Because it's more than a conference, as you mentioned, it's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle when it comes to building relationship. It's a lifestyle, and a call to courage, right? So how do
Mm.
you ensure that your content consistently speaks to the hearts of women, especially those in transition? And when I say content, I don't just mean like social media content, right? Like the content that you put together for your events. How do you make sure that that consistently speaks to the hearts of women, especially those in transition?
Yeah. I speak to myself first because this is for me. I am Hey Girl community. I speak to myself and I speak to those other women that have played a part in the Hey Girl community. And so when I say speak to, I'm I'm an active listener. So it's not just all of me talking. I'm sitting back and I'm listening at the feedback. I'm listening at what other women are going through because um, we all sometimes in this world you can feel isolated, you can feel alone, but I can guarantee you somebody else is going through what you're going through. Somebody else is having the aha moment that you're having. and you think, oh my God, I'm the only one that just had this realization. And so when I say I speak to myself, the first part about that is getting real, Jasmine. Everything is not always roses. Woo! Everything is not always sprinkles, sunshine, and unicorn. And I could come in here and I can share my light with you, but there are cloudy days. Yes, there are. And we need to get real about them. So I speak to myself, I get real, and I share. I had to learn how to trust. So for years, let's put all the S's on the end of that, years, I didn't trust people because people had hurt me, they had betrayed me. And so when I didn't trust, I recoiled. And you know what that did? That dimmed my light. I'm supposed to shine my light. There is a light inside me that is God given. I didn't give it to me. My parents didn't give it to me. It was placed inside of me from the Creator. And I am meant to shine. Cassandra, let's say 5, 6, 7 years ago, would not boldly proclaim that, but it's the truth. And so as I start to get real and I share that with other women and I connect with other women, guess what? Women are real with me. I've had some of the deepest conversations with strangers at the Hey Girl conference. They'll come up to me and say, you know what, Cassandra, thank you so much for doing this. And this is why it spoke directly to me. And so I'm an active listener. I listen to myself. I listen to the women that are in this community and I trust this community. I do. Because again, I feel as though this is my assignment, this is part of my calling. And so as long as I'm staying true and real to my assignment and authentic within my assignment, those same people are going to come and they're going to share and they're going to feel open and they're going to make connections and it's going to be a ripple effect. That river is going to flow all the way down to their friends, their family members, their community.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. Something that you, I mean, there's a lot of things that you have been saying that stood out to me, but staying true to your assignment. Wow, how powerful is that? Because like you said, there's some hard days, there's some hard moments and times, but staying true to your assignment and your God-given purpose is always what's going to drive you back. We have Coach Shine on Lakeisha saying absolutely she agrees with you 100%. Miss Nikki is saying speak that you are speaking facts. And she is so and she is so elated to be on this live watching with you right now. And I want to thank you for your level of vulnerability and realness that you're sharing with us today. And I wanted to ask you, how do you balance that vulnerability and boundaries as a public figure in the empowerment space?
Yeah, yeah, because you start to attract. You attract light and you attract dark. Okay, so I love this. There's a beautiful writer by the name of Lysa Turkhurst. She has a quote that just jumped on me, and I couldn't let it go. It goes, and I want to make sure I say it right. I have these boundaries in place not for restriction, but to define the parameters of my freedom. Let me run that back. I have boundaries in place not for restriction, but to define the parameters of my freedom. So I set boundaries because what we don't want to do is get on a platform, whether social media or any other platform, and let that be all consuming. Because all of a sudden we are encumbered, we are weighed down, we are bogged down. My boundaries give me freedom to freely share what I want to share. So I set boundaries, Jasmine. And I keep myself true to my boundaries. When I mess up, I give myself grace, but I hold myself accountable. You have to set boundaries. Because, if you don't, there are people out there that will take, and take some more. There are people that are out there. If you don't protect yourself, it's almost like um, my first lady, Vanessa, who is on here. She says, when you get cut, what's going to come out? And so there's so much wisdom in that sentence. First of all, that you're going to get cut. There are people that are out here trying to swipe you, trying to take you out. It could be something from a scrape, a nick, to a full on trying to get the vertebral artery of your vein to take you out. So when that happens, it's going to happen. As I told you, everything's is not sprinkles, rainbows, and unicorns. So when it happens, what is your response? And who's going to be there for you? So what's your response? Are you going to get disillusioned? Are you going to get angry? Are you going to get consumed with anger? Or are you going to pray? Because that's what Lady V would say. Vanessa, she would say, when you get cut, is prayer going to come out, right? Or who's there to help you to patch up the wound, to put pressure on the wound, to stop the bleeding? Check your people, check your tribe. You may have some people in your tribe that you got to release and love, and you know it. Let's be honest, you know it. You keeping them around because there may be an aspect of their personality that's beneficial to you. There may be an aspect of their business that you want to tap into. Let them go. We have to, oh my goodness. Vanessa was talking about releasing the weights. Last week we had a conversation about releasing the weights. You got to release those weights because those people will take you out and bleed you dry. I'm sorry, I feel like I got off topic, but that just came to mind, Jasmine.
No, no, no. You're not off topic. You have people commenting right now saying you have to stay armored up, and it is so true. It's so true. Release and love. People are commenting release and love in the chat. We have another comment. Accountability is key, right? All of these things are true, and all of these things are necessary to our journey.
Yes.
Um, and you shared your journey and mindset. You spoke about building a transformational brand. You spoke about how you produce content, connection, and community, right? And one thing that I hear you saying a lot on this live right now is speaking about faith, leadership, and calling, right? So how would you say that your faith played a role in navigating challenges as a leader, and what advice do you have for women building businesses that align with their spiritual calling?
Yes. So it allowed me to be bold, to show up boldly and not in like a cocky type of way, just in a confident way. It's that knowing. My faith gives me a deep knowing in who I am, whose I am, and my purpose in life. A deep knowing of it. And I say it that way because there are going to be things, people, places, and spaces that will challenge that knowing, that will try to convince you of something different. And I have that type of faith that no, you a lie. I don't know what you talk about. You a lie. You a bold faced lie, as my mom would say. Okay, that's not true. And I think when of the times where I wasn't as sure in my faith, I would say, well, maybe what they're saying is true. Or, oh yeah, they confirm those negative thoughts that I had about myself. Now it's like, no, some people may call it crazy faith. Call me what you want. I know what I know, what I know. So it gives me that sureness, that boldness to go into brave and new spaces without the requisite, the prerequisite. In college, you have to have a prerequisite before you can go to the next level of the class. No, because I have faith, because I know I've been chosen, because I know that this is my calling, I don't need your prerequisite. I already got it because I was chosen. So let's go. And so I go into those spaces with my faith, and it allows me not to blink. You ever staring at someone, they want you to blink first? I ain't blinking because I'm supposed to be here. Okay. So that's what it helps me to do. What was the second part of your question? I was too busy not blinking, Jazz, when I got all excited.
That is too funny. What advice do you have for women building businesses that align with their spiritual calling, or like staying true to their assignment?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Go all the way there. Don't halfway commit. Go all the way there. I know sometimes this world has told us that you have to separate business and spirituality, or business and faith, business and religion. Go all the way there. It is your superpower. As my friend Vanessa would say, it's your secret sauce. That's how I say it. She doesn't say sauce like that. That's how I say it. It's your secret sauce. Go all the way there and watch how these doors will open. Watch how people will be sent to you to meet a specific need you have. Go all the way there. Don't hold back. Don't shrink. Don't hide your faith. It's what got you here. It's what's sustaining you. It's what's giving you that bold, crazy faith to stay right there and weather the storm. Go all the way there. Don't put conditions on it. Don't put strings attached to it. Do go all the way there. That's my advice. Go all the way there, Jasmine.
Cassandra, first of all, you are on fire. The chat is going crazy. Let me just tell you. Um, Vanessa said, you're on point. You have to know deep down in your knower.
Mm,
Um, Chrissy said that she loves your energy.
thank
Um, and let me tell you something. Cassandra is a dope person in real actual life. Like when I did the Hey Girl conference with her, I just felt so welcome. Like Serenity and I felt so welcome. We drove down to Philly
you. Mhm.
to get set up. It was an all day
Yes.
conference experience for women just pouring into each other, like speakers, panels. We did a yoga session. I ended up speaking at one of the sessions. I didn't even know if I was going to be speaking at. Um, and Cassandra, I want to, pivot a little bit and thank you for that platform and that opportunity because it wasn't early on until I started getting like these opportunities where I was able to speak in spaces that I didn't realize I have a gift, for
Mm,
speaking. But
mm.
thank you for that opportunity. And, we joined you again for the Hey Girly conference.
Mhm.
Serenity loved it. It was a self care day and empowerment for our younger girlies, the next generation that's coming up. And so it's amazing. And now you have Connection Night coming up, which
Yes.
and I'm super excited to go to that. We're definitely gonna dive into all of those different things. Nikki is commenting right now. She said absolutely no fear, and she put that in bold letters to let the people know.
Yes.
Um,
Let them know.
we got a comment that says, speak girl, all in. And he is most definitely all in with you. So be all in with him and watch him work. Nikki, you better speak, girl. I know
Amen.
that's right. That is right. With all of the roles that you do, right? What role would you say that rest or retreat play in your leadership? And how do you protect other people?
O- Okay. So, rest and retreat, I think, is what you asked. So, for me, rest has been elusive for me. It has been a challenge. And I just literally this morning had an aha moment, Jasmine. May I share it with you? I think the answer is yes. Okay. So, on Sunday, one of our friends, Dr. Marjorie, said the busyness of busyness. And I was like, ooh, sometimes things just get good to me and I just can't let it go. The busyness of busyness. It is essential for us to rest. And I say us, for women like us, for men like us that are special. I'm special, Jasmine. You're special, Jasmine. Nikki, Vanessa, I'm trying to recall the names that I heard. We are special and we need to rest. So, this morning, what came clearly to me was rest or die. So, when I say rest or die, what I mean is that when you don't rest, your creativity dies, your hope can die, your joy can die. Your physical health can die. Your emotions, you could become apathetic. I don't feel anything. They can die. Your dreams, your goals, your aspirations, your relationships, your business, it can die. Your assignment can shrivel up and die when you don't rest. So when I say rest or die, that's what I mean. You can choose. You can choose if you're going to rest, and you can choose if you are going to continue to operate at maximum capacity to operate over maximum capacity. So, what rest looks like for you, Jasmine, is different than what it looks like for me. And I had to learn that because rest for me isn't getting massages. That's not rest for me. Rest for me isn't sleeping. I need to sleep and I go to sleep because sometimes I wake up like this. You know that James Brown meme where he's sweaty and he just, that's how I wake up 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning after going to bed at 7 p.m. the night before because I didn't rest. So it looks different. And that understanding of that rest for me, I'm learning now. I've always used to say, I'm not a journaler. I don't journal. I envy people that have like years and piles worths of journals because every time I sit down to write, ooh, my mind goes somewhere, but not in the paper. But what I have been doing now is I do memos on my phone. When a thought comes, when I have a feeling that I need to get out, I put it in a memo on my phone and I leave it there. That is rest for me. Getting that emotion, getting that thought out is rest for me. Going outside and just standing in the sun, it kind of reboots and recharges me. That is rest for me. It is essential, it is non negotiable. Rest or die. Baby, I want to live and I want to live a big, full, and complete life. So that's you have to rest.
I love everything you're saying about rest. And in the word restoration, there's rest, right?
Mhm.
Because, like you said, life has a funny way of, if you don't take the rest, it'll slow you down.
Mhm.
It will literally slow you down so that you can get the rest you need in the capacity and in the way that you need the rest.
Yeah.
Um, I remember earlier this year when Serenity got really sick and she was in the hospital. Um, I was like in survival mode in the beginning of the year. And it wasn't until she got that sick that I actually like slowed down. I was out of
Mhm.
work for a month. I was taking care of her, but I was like, when I look back at it now, I don't wish to relive seeing my daughter sick, but I'm like, God, I thank you for the rest. Like
Yes.
I didn't know I needed that rest. So thank you for slowing me down, like finding a way to slow me down so that
Yes.
I was able to get that rest.
Yes.
And it's very important. Rest is very crucial to our mental health, to how we function. And like you said, creativity can die when there's not enough rest because you're busy in survival mode. You're busy trying to figure out how you're going to pay your bills, what's for dinner, what your
Yeah.
schedule is looking like. But if you don't take the time to take care of all that is of you, um, yeah, visions and dreams can definitely fall at the wayside. So thank you for sharing that.
Mm.
Um, when you when women look back on what Hey Girl meant to them, right? Because I'm even thinking about just my overall experience. What legacy do you hope that it leaves behind, not just as an event, but as a movement?
Yeah, it's interesting that you use that word movement. You used it earlier. And so when I think of movement, what's the definition? Like an act of moving forward, like it's an act, it's an intention. So my hope and desire is that people leave away from this movement or contact with this movement, understanding that there's more for them, that while they may feel stuck, they can get unstuck. There is a deeper way and a deeper level of understanding of who they are, that this is not the end. Really, this is just the beginning. Whatever the rest of that sentence is for you, whether this is just the beginning of living out loud, whether this is just the beginning of getting my rest, whether this is just the beginning of healing, that this was a space that gave me a knowing, there's that word again, that there's more, that there is more life to live. And I'm new, I'm different. And I get to know myself in a new and different way. You know, a lot of us are type A personalities. We're in control. We know everything. We've mapped out every step. We're in the details and we're changing. And this is an environment where you can freely change from what was to what will be. to fully embrace your new self, to look forward to the future. So it can be just the beginning if you're 18, if you're 25, if you're 44 knocking on 45, if you're 65. I would hope that anyone that encounters this intentional, forward moving movement will leave feeling that way, not feeling stuck. N- Um, there's a stillness. So still and stuck are different for me. And this is just me, because stuck means, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not making any progress. Stillness is I'm focusing on me. I'm slowing down. I'm taking those deep breaths. So my hope is that when women encounter this movement, it's an opportunity for them to be still, to be able to get to know themselves a little bit more. It's an opportunity for them to be still, to find other like minded women that can help them advance their dreams, for them to be still, to be able to receive the compliment, to be able to receive the help. That's my hope.
Wow. That is amazing. And I brought up the word movement because oftentimes we throw events, right? Or we'll do, we have ideas that we put out in place. But when I say your Hey Girl conference is a movement, that's exactly what I mean. There's a song that I like, and it's called I'm Alive Because There's More, right? The idea that, even speaking to the legacy that you hope to leave with people, that your story isn't over, right? Despite what you've been through, you're still here. And that means that ultimately your life still has meaning, it still has impact, it's unfinished purpose, right? There's more growth, more joy, more love, more peace that you have to yet experience in life. And there's ultimately still more work to do, right? Not just in a hustle sense, but in the divine assignment, like we mentioned earlier, that you're here to fulfill, whether it's loving on people, whether it is leading your community, or simply um, creating something or a space where other people can learn, thrive, and grow with one another.
Yes,
So I love the fact that what you want to ultimately leave behind in your legacy, it speaks volume. When you look ahead at what's next for the Hey Girl conference, are there new directions, offerings that you have coming up or excited about that you would like to share with us here today?
absolutely. So we referenced this connection night. So what a connection night is it's a even more intimate space than the conference. Because at the conference we host 150 women. That's our cap. At this point, I don't want to go above that. That is our cap. So the connection night is just 2 hours for us to have an intimate space to truly connect. I've been to a lot of networking events. I know a lot of us have. Put the business card away and let's look each other in the eyes and let's truly connect. So at these connection nights, we have light bites. We are a zero proof movement, so we always have crafted mocktails. So we'll have that. Also, we feature a business. So we're going to feature a woman-owned business, the Sable Collective, at our July 20th connection night. And we also carve out time to pour into one another. So, for instance, at our first connection night, each one of the ladies that came got a card with the affirmation on it. I am more than capable, for example. And they were asked to look at the woman to the left or to the right of them and just speak that word of life into them. I am capable. And then we asked the woman that received that to speak it back to the woman that just spoke it to them. That's when the connections, the sparks were happening. And however you came into that connection night, you left feeling different. So that's what our connection nights seek to create, an atmosphere for true connection, for true belonging, for true community. So they are only 2 hours. We have them on Sunday evenings from 6 to 8 p.m. And our next one is July 20th. We also are looking forward to having more programming for our Hey Girlies. So our Hey Girlies are ages 9 to 16 up to 18. And last year we did our Rise Up Summit that Jasmine was one of our judges. Jasmine and Serenity came to judge our pitch competition that we have for our Hey Girlies. Um, So we want to do programming throughout the year for them. So we are working on that. We are planning our second annual Rise Up Summit on October 4th for our Hey Girlies. That's going to be in New Jersey again at the same location, Brick and Culture in Woodbury, New Jersey. We are gearing up for season 2 of our digital TV series, Hey Girl Voices. So, Voices is an acronym valuing our insights, complexities, experiences, and stories. So, Hey Girl Voices is coming up. And really, we feature one woman on each episode and we amplify her voice. So, for instance, Jasmine would come on and her word would be confidence. And she would just talk to you guys, for a few minutes about her experience with confidence, whether she always had it, came out the womb with it, or whether it was something that she had to work towards, or if she had it, lost it for a second, and got it back. So that is Hey Girl Voices. We also have our nonprofit arm. I'm so excited about it. The Hey Girl Fund. It's our 501c3, where we are just doing more and more programming for our women and our girlies. So those are the things, some of the things that we have coming up.
Listen, those are a lot of the things that you have coming up, and I am here for it. I'm excited. Like I said before, I had the privilege and the honor to attend the Hey Girl conference before, and the Hey Girlie Summit, and it was an incredible experience. And you just felt the love and the connection in the room. Like you said, we have people commenting saying, "Yes, put those business cards away. Speak to the people."
Yeah.
Okay, after we leave the room, we're not really checking for the card sometimes. We're checking for
Mhm.
the connection and how that person made us felt. And did we leave or did we walk away with something that was insightful, something that they shared? Did they can they fulfill a need for us, right? And so the event that you're having, the connection night, is a great opportunity for everyone to do that. And I want everyone on live to be able to access all of your events. So if you can tell us where we can access all of the events to purchase our tickets, show
Yes.
support, yes, please tell us.
Yes, so for the connection, now you could go to our link tree on our Instagram page that has a link directly to that ticket. We have 8 tickets left for that. Again, it's an intimate space, so we only have 8 tickets left, and that is $15. Um, Also, you could go to our website, heygirlconference.com. There's tabs for everything there. We are going to be going live with our tickets for the Hey Girlie Rise Up Summit soon. But all that information is there about our past events, recap videos, um, how to get in touch with us. You can fill out the contact us. You can email us at info@heygirlconference.com. If you are interested in sponsoring, we love a good sponsor. If you want to get into our swag bags are legendary. Well, I think they're legendary. I've heard that they're legendary. So we would love to connect with you in that way. So all the information is on our link tree or the website, heygirlconference.com.
That is amazing. Thank you so much for sharing with us where we can follow you and get our tickets because you need to be in the room. Cassandra, I just want to say that thank you so much for coming on. You are a founder of just Brave Spaces that for those of you that joined us late, Cassandra, she is the owner of the Hey Girl Conference. Okay, she is the founder of Brave Spaces that prioritize healing, growth, and liberation for all type of women, whether they're in schools, boardrooms, or community circles. She provides workshops, coaching, and speaking engagements. She challenges the status quo while holding space for authenticity, emotional wellness, and joy, like you saw here on our live today. And at her core, Cassandra is a connector. She is someone that you can actually have a conversation with, and she is happy to speak with you, pour into you. And she bridges the gap between um, who we've been and who we are becoming. She reminds us that healing is possible and leadership can be soulful, and we all deserve to take up space. So if you are not following Cassandra right now, you're not following a Hey Girl Conference, you need to make sure that you're following them. Tap on their link tree, purchase your tickets. You need to be in the room because it is going to be a life changing event. Cassandra, thank you so much for joining us. And
Yeah.
I cannot wait to see you in a few weeks for the connection night.
Yes, thank you so much, Jasmine, for extending your platform. Thank you for allowing me to share my voice, and thank you for being you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you what you're doing for your daughter, for your community, for the next generation. So thank you.
You are most welcome. I cannot wait to be on the digital platform. I didn't forget. I'm rooting for you. I am rooting
Thank
for
you.
you. And for those of you who have not subscribed to our newsletter yet, please make sure that you log on to www.serenitynailpolish.com to subscribe to our newsletter. You can scan it in, as you can see on our screen, to visit our website. Please be also sure to check out Mastering Our Business, who does a phenomenal job with helping businesses all across the country get started and continue on in their journey of entrepreneurship. And until next Monday, when we're live again at 5 p.m., set your alarms on your phone, set your reminders, be well and be blessed. Have a great week, everyone.